I am over 100 pounds overweight and I refuse to get weight loss surgery, GLP-1 medication, which we know is Ozempic and other ones that are similar in the same universe. And I refuse to go on these crazy ass restrictive diets. Does that mean I don't want to be healthy and lose weight? No. It's because I'm being logical and I understand that a lot of these things do not work for me. They work for other people, sure, but I feel like it doesn't work for most people. Restrictive diets, we know, it's supposed to be a lifestyle. It's supposed to be lifelong. So you restricting all these different dietary food groups, that's really going to help you, lose the weight, but keep it off forever. You're going to be able to eat like that from now to the day that you pass on to whatever we go after we pass on. Can you really be honest with yourself and say that you can do these restrictive ass diets and they actually work long term? Now, some people, they might want to go on detoxes and resets and stuff. I mean, in some ways they're great, but it's almost like it's basically like another diet. It's just short term because the detox might only be for 14 days, 30 days, 90 days. But these aren't sustainable. And so for me, it's like I've tried some of these restrictive diets and I've done calorie counting and I've done restrictions and things like that. And then I wind up gaining the weight back. So for me, I don't see the point of even trying that again. I know it's the beginning of 2025 and, the weight loss stuff comes back up again, but we got to be real with ourselves. Is that really going to work? Completely like taking food groups out of your diet and all that stuff. And if you've known me for a while, I used to not eat dairy products. I used to not eat meat, and it was for over 4 years. Okay, my weight didn't change that much. Okay, I'm not necessarily blaming, plant-based veganism or anything for the way my weight is now, because my weight was basically like that before I started that particular lifestyle diet or whatever. But when you have disordered eating like I do, those things don't work, okay? If you have a diagnosis of an ED, they may not work. You're going to be hyper fixated on like how many calories this has. Does this have butter in it? How many grams of sugar? How many grams of fat? And it's like your mind is just getting all jacked up. And so how can you live a healthy, sustainable life if all you think about is food and all you think about is your next meal and all you think about is, oh, whoa, all this stuff? So for me, restrictive diets don't work. And you might be like me, that they don't work. You've tried the different major restrictive diets out there, and they may have worked for a few months for you. Maybe you had that much of, discipline, self-control, whatever you want to call it. You're able to stick with this restrictive way of eating. But then you start missing out. When you go to engagements, you go traveling, all these different things, and you can't eat at this restaurant. You can't eat this kind of food because they serve this. You can't have this, you can't have that. I've been there, and it sucks. And for me, didn't really affect my weight that much for me personally. Because I didn't have good, healthy eating habits. I didn't have a good, healthy relationship with food to begin with before these restrictive diets came along. So you got to keep that in mind. How is your relationship with food? Your relationship with food may not change when you get weight loss surgery, okay? And we've heard and seen, even like content creators and people maybe in your own real life, maybe even you've gotten a weight loss surgery. Half your stomach's gone, or they stapled it, or whatever the heck they did. They traumatized your body so that your stomach could be significantly smaller. You can train your body to eat the same amount of food you were eating before, even after weight loss surgery. Did they tell you that? And then you wasted your time and money, and then you become fat again because you did not change your relationship with food. So that's one thing. And I've noticed that with some people. They may lose a significant amount of weight from the weight loss surgery, And then a few years later, they're the same weight as they were or close to it after the weight loss surgery. So I'm like, that was a short-term fix. You know what I mean? So that's why I won't get that. I won't do weight loss surgery. I won't do restrictive diets. I won't be taking these Ozempics or anything similar to that, because those things you have to take for the rest of your life. They are now coming out with studies and different things saying how negatively these drugs affect people. They cause other complications. So you might get fucked up, but you skinny, like, you know. So I've heard different things, like you might lose your eyesight, all these different things. Look, don't take it from me. I'm a random black chick on YouTube. I was just seeing this information and I was like, that's crazy. Like, you gonna go on weight loss surgery. You're gonna do weight loss surgery. You're gonna take basically weight loss pills. Let's just be real. It's like a weight loss pill. It's just now FDA approved, okay? And some of these things are for diabetics, and that's a different discussion. For non-diabetics who are obese, okay, taking these medications, and they expect it to be like the wonder drug of the world, but then you have these complications behind it. We know pharmaceuticals have side effects, so you can't pretend that doesn't exist. Same as the weight loss surgery. You're literally dramatically having this it's a traumatic experience on your body to open up your body to do. I personally feel like for most people is an unnecessary procedure, because if you don't change your relationship with food, you're going to get fat again, even with the weight loss surgery. You're going to have to significantly change your relationship with food for any of that to work. So that's why even me being heavy, I'm probably eligible for all those things that I just mentioned, the GLP-1, the weight loss surgery, all that, because of my BMI and how long I've been fat, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not dumb. And I'm not saying you are, but for me, I'm not dumb. I know that that's not going to help me, because if my relationship with food is fucked up, then I'm going to have fucked up eating habits, which means I'm going to either gain the weight back, get bigger, and it's not going to work. So that's the reason why I personally am not doing that in 2025. I'm not doing weight loss surgery. I'm not doing restrictive diets. And I'm damn sure not taking no medications that can fuck my body up just so I can be skinny. I'd rather just do the work of living my life, being more active and eating whatever the hell I want, making sure that my portions are better, making sure I'm making healthier food decisions, making sure, like, okay, why do I want to overeat, Alicia? Asking myself questions, being more logical and being like, why do I want to overeat right now? Why am I eating a whole bag of this? Why am I eating all these different things? Maybe I didn't eat enough healthy foods. Maybe I didn't eat enough real foods. That's why I'm going to all these other things that are highly addictive. Not saying that I'm never going to eat unhealthy food. I'm not saying that, but we know we have a healthy relationship with food. People who have a healthy relationship with food, majority of their diet is quote unquote healthy. They don't have to constantly analyze, constantly think. They might say, okay, I'm having chicken salad for lunch. They're not like over analyzing it. They get the chicken, unless they're allergic to something. They may say, okay, I'm gonna get it without the, I don't know what's on there, without the tomatoes. Maybe they're allergic to tomatoes, or maybe tomatoes upset their stomach, so they're gonna get it without tomatoes, and they're gonna eat it until they're full and satiated. And they may even leave food on the plate. And they're done. And you know what, in real life I've seen this, because I've been in different social situations where I am the fattest chick in the group. And I notice sometimes when I see other people eating, and they will have, they'll have like a salad with protein, whatever protein they choose, I don't know. And they'll just be so, talking, kiki, and they'll just be eating. And then I'm looking at their plate like, they didn't even eat all their food, because they're probably done eating. They're probably not hungry anymore. And so I'm like, damn. Like, usually, I would say 9 times out of 10 with my meals, I will eat everything on my plate. everything on my plate. I wouldn't even think too much about it. Now lately, I've been doing a lot better with that. I've been focusing more on like, you had a plate of food. Are you still really hungry? Or you're just used to constantly eating too damn much? Do you need to drink more water? Since I am fat and heavy, you need to drink more water. If you're not somebody who's like, 5'2", 105 pounds, they most likely don't need to drink a gallon of water unless they're like running a marathon and they're like exerting themselves and they're like in the desert or something. I don't know. But I think that's a good like rule of thumb when they say the 8 glasses of water. 8 glasses, 8 ounces, 64 ounces of water a day for the average person. I think that's a good starting point, but you have to also understand when you are fat, you need more than that, okay? Because you have more body, you got more fat, you got more body, you need more water, okay? So I think we sometimes forget that. And I think it's also cool to have like a really big, I'm looking at my 40-ounce little thing right here, my 40-ounce can here. And I'm trying to drink these because I know I need to drink like about 3 of these to get close to my gallon goal. And it's a lot of water, but I'm a big chick. I need the water. Anyway, I digress, I guess. But it's all around the same topic. So I'm still doing my weight loss journey. I'm still posting every Sunday. If you've been watching those videos, great. Thank you. I appreciate you taking your time and attention to watch the videos. And you probably noticed that it's like 3 weeks behind. Okay, so those videos are 3 weeks behind. But I just wanted to have this video to say like that is what's going on. That's what I'm doing in 2020. These are the things I'm not doing in 2025. I just refuse. I refuse to do it. I don't have restrictions on what I eat, and I think that's great. I think it's good for me because that way it's like, I'm not putting anything on a pedestal. But at the same time, like, I want to still eat healthy. Like, I'm still eating fruits and vegetables. Well, more fruits and vegetables. It really just depends on how I feel. But also have to know, okay, if I want good digestion, I do need to add more fiber. I need to add more of this. If I want to feel fuller, I do need to eat more, like, quote-unquote protein. But I don't have to sit there and like, calculate the grams and how many calories am I eating. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Because at the end of the day, 5 years from now, am I going to sit there and start measuring every single thing? No. Am I going to be counting calories for every single thing? No. Am I going to be like, I can't eat at half of these restaurants because they don't have this particular item or they don't have whatever? No. I have to think of it long term. Is this going to help me long term? Is this actually a lifestyle change? Is this actually something that can be sustainable? And a lot of times it can't be. So I hope this helps another fat person that may be considering one of those 3 things, because I know it's so popular now, but from one fat chick to another, child, that's not going to work. You know yourself. You need to have a healthy relationship with food. These are so-called Band-Aids. Diet culture, which is these restrictive diets, diet culture, Band-Aid. The GLP-1, Band-Aid. Weight loss surgery, Band-Aid. Because at the end of the day, you got to work on your relationship with food. So that means if you have to see a therapist to figure out why you're eating the way you're eating, maybe you have to, be more of a parent to yourself and be like, okay, yes, cookies are good. Doesn't mean you have to eat 10. You know what I'm being serious. Like, maybe you have to like nurture yourself a little bit more. Like the other day I had Alfredo. That Alfredo fucked me up. I knew better. And then I was like, okay, Alicia, we can't be eating Alfredo because it's way too much dairy. You got too much. It's just, it activates your lactose intolerance way too much. Do I like fettuccine Alfredo? Yeah. But does my body like it? No. So I can't eat it, right? Or if I choose to eat it, I'm going to have to eat a much smaller portion of it and be like, don't add any more dairy beyond this small amount because your body can't handle it. So doing those kinds of things to me makes more sense than picking these fucking Band-Aids that don't work. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.